Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
And it's still phone to prepare for you, whatever gadgets you're looking for. Just make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise because they have got you covered. My name is Roslyn Fairley, and this segment is the Newsflash segment. Thank you so much for always sending your messages to us. We know we haven't been the best this week. Yes, we know. But today we are going to try as much as possible to read as many messages as possible. So send your messages. Of course, we are talking about the One Ghana fuel levy that we have to pay to make sure that we fix the energy sector so we can curb doom. So are you happy about it that it's going to be implemented today? Let's hear your voice this morning. What's your take on the One Ghana levy, energy sector levy, to fix our energy crisis? Be a part of the conversation this morning. And also, NPP will be having their National Delegates Conference this weekend. We'll be delving into that as well. Be a part of through and through conversation, and it will be great to have you on board. I want to do the newspapers, but again, I want to say a very big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for always having our back. With Franco Trading Enterprise, you can trust that you have authentic gadgets. It's the mobile phones you're looking for, television sets, CCTV cameras. Worry no more because we have got you covered. Just make sure you download the app on your phone because we want things to be very simple for you. In the comfort of your home, in your offices, or even in your car, you can purchase your item from Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, when you download the app, which is Franco Trading app, you select whatever item you want and trust us to deliver it to you at your doorstep. For further inquiries, visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa fee. So I want to do the newspapers like I said earlier, and I'll start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. The Ghanaian Times newspaper, and it reads, safety of meat not guaranteed unless sourced from certified facilities. This coming from experts. So those of you who like meat, as it stands now, the safety is not guaranteed. Yes, it's not. And so if you want to buy your meat, please go to the certified facilities. And if not that, you know you're eating from restaurants or from chop bars or all of that, make sure you know where they source their meat from. If you don't, you know, most of these restaurants or these hotels will actually let you know. Sometimes they put a communique on the wall or something to let you know information, give you all the information. Yes. So try as much as possible to source your meat from certified facilities. President orders arrest of a rogue task force. Now, another conversation that was trending yesterday was some form of task force that was formed illegally and is alleged that it was formed by some members or some big wigs of the NDC. And so people were calling on the president to act. And the president has issued a statement saying that these persons should be investigated. And if it's true, they will definitely be brought to book. Maybe I should read a bit of that to you. It's in page 11, yes. This is the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. So let me quickly get page 11 of it. So for those of you who don't know much about this story, but you want to help fight galamsey, then you should know that this conversation is for you. And it says, President John Dramani Mahama has directed the arrest and prosecution of rogue individuals or groups who extort money from legitimate mining companies in the name of National Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force. I've noted the activity of illegal anti-galamsey task forces that go around extorting money from legitimate small-scale mining companies. I've requested that the authorities arrest and prosecute any individual or group involved in this illegal anti-galamsey activity, the president disclosed. He made this known in Joaboso, in the Western North region yesterday when he addressed the chiefs and people in his thank you visit to the area. So as it stands now, this is what is happening. So if you know that you are behind this thing, then you should know that it is coming. Fire is on the mountain. Well, more stories here. Government secures $117 million for basic education reforms, Dr. Apak says. So a businessman petitions Yoko over alleged $100,000 fraud by 3A. So this fraud thing is still ongoing. You are not scared. As you are arresting people here and there, you are still defrauding people. Wow. Your time will come. The Guardian Publisher newspaper is the next newspaper. The Guardian Publisher, Akufo-Addo denies NPP Congress Congress interference. Yoko probes the Ministry of Communication, Adamus chiefs over miners petition. Ghana Link slams false report on KIA scanners, and Mahama's D-levy takes off today. And this is our main conversation for this morning. As to whether the name is D-levy or whatever it is, I don't know who is terming it as D-levy because the government hasn't said it's called D-levy. But you know, when we heard of E-levy, yes, the government did name it as E-levy, but this time around it is not called D-levy, but people are terming it as D-levy. Let's do the 24-hour newspaper. Oh, wow. I'm guessing this is a very fresh newspaper that, you know, I don't know. Wow, 24-hour newspaper. Wow. Okay, nice. Government to pay 3% share of DACF for PWDs on July 21st. Local government minister says so. President Mahama cancels fuel allowances for appointees in bold cost-cutting drive. Again, this was trending yesterday. Some people were saying it's a good move. Others were also saying that the president is calling off his bluff. What do you think about it? Do you think the president actually cutting the full allowance of appointees is a bold decision, or he's just showing off? We want to hear from you about that as well. It will be quite interesting, you know, because this is like people ask for it. He's doing it, and it's never been done, never. You know, once you become a government appointee, there are certain things, benefits that you get. Some get housing allowance, some get fuel allowance, some get bodyguards, some get cars and all of that. Now, fuel allowances have been cancelled. Anyway, kudos to the president, though. That's a good move. Kudos to you, Mr. President. Ghana Link debunks claims of broken scanners at Kotoka International Airport. COPEC projects 6% to 9% fuel price hike in second pricing window of July 2025. And Chumberima demands EC boss resignation ahead of possible petitions. That'll be it for the 24-hour newspaper. It's quite an interesting name you give to your newspaper, though. 24-hour newspaper. All right, so we'll do the Ghanaian Times newspaper next. Don't forget that we are delving into the One Ghana Energy Levy that is taking effect today. We are delving into it, and very soon we'll go on Zoom. We'll be joined by Dr. Riverson Opong, who is the CEO of Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC. So he'll be joining us pretty shortly. But let me finish off with the newspapers. The Accra Times newspaper is the next newspaper. The Accra Times Speaker praises Ghana's democracy at Francophone Forum. The benefit of strong economic performance, more foreign grants for Ghana. Amenfi West MP reveals strengthen parliamentary democracy, clerk to press corps. Zeneto engages Queen Mothers on cultural preservation, and in the surge in non-communicable diseases, Health Minister raises alarm. NPA judiciary to prosecute offenders tackling petroleum sector crimes. That'll be all for the Accra Times newspaper. The next newspaper, which happens to be the final newspaper, is the Custodian newspaper. The Custodian newspaper, Kufuor to address NPP Congress virtually. Oh, wow, okay. So they're not going to be there present, but virtual. That's nice. That's quite interesting, you know. Since, you know, we heard that, or they touted themselves that they are the pioneers of digitalization. I think this is a good one. So we get to know how it will be like there. That's a good one. CDM demands answers on Ghana's UN LGBTQ plus vote abstention. 4.5 Ghana cedis per gallon Doomsor levy starts today. Help strengthen Ghana's democracy. Clerk to Parliament urges journalists and minority calls for fair, accurate media reportage. That'll be all for the Custodian newspaper. And that will be all for what the newspapers have for us this morning. And now let's delve deeper into our conversation, which happens to be the One Ghana levy. The Ghana Revenue Authority will today begin the collection of the One Ghana levy. This is supposed to help fix the energy sector crisis. This is supposed to help curb doomsday, as people term it. It's supposed to be our energy crisis problems. And as of now, we have been complaining about how to solve it. Government says pay 1 Ghana cedi on each litre of fuel that you buy. We can help use that to cure our debts and to be able to stabilize our energy sector. Now, we are joined by Dr. Riverson Opong, who is the CEO of Chamber of Oil Marketing, COMAC, and he is on Zoom this morning. Good morning, Riverson.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you too?
Wow, very alive.
Great. And it's good to have you on a line. So just so that everybody knows that you were not too happy about the fact that this 1 Ghana levy was going to be implemented and it's starting today. What do you have to say about that?
Right. I believe you know the history from where we came from. I think we woke up one morning to hear that there was an implementation of a 1 cedi that has been passed by Parliament. The following day, we believe in 24-hour economy, but not 24-hour implementation of a levy like that. So it was not as if we were not happy. We knew it was not operationally feasible. Even from the GRA point of view, I don't think their systems were ready to pick that 1 cedi up. It was going to bring operational issues. Implementing 1 cedi to the government and to the ordinary Ghanaian is very simple. But to the oil marketing companies, we're talking about millions of cedis. And you could see how much the government is looking out for to curb the debts rising up. So what we interjected was the implementation notice of 1 day, which was not possible. But fast forward, we've had several engagements with GRA, with the Ministry of Finance, and also NPP regarding the implementation. Prior to this, we had received the floor price system from NPA. We had the letters at least giving us 2 weeks notice, which was appropriate because when you look at the members of oil marketing companies that are on cash and carry today, they have to cough millions of cedis prepaid to GRA before they could lift. You understand, and that is where we are. If you look at the implementation that's starting today, that has also caused a few rise in the fuel pump price. I mean, there's been so much talk about it. That's also for the reason why some of us were asking for, I'll say, a caveat that will tell us that if either the government is able to accrue a certain amount of money and or make sure that the debt is not rising anymore, they could release the 1 cedi levy. I mean, the 1 cedi extra. That caveat is still not in the system. Also, when international benchmark prices are going up to such a threshold, are we going to hold on to it, or are we still going to collect it? So I mean, all these discussions are still ongoing. The chamber has had engagement with the ministry. We've written letters to the ministries, both finance and energy, asking the government to also stop the subsidy in tax for MGO, which I believe very soon, to go to Parliament for us to understand where we are going with that, because it brings, serious unfair, I would say, regulation to the downstream sector.
Right. Now, you also said earlier that when it happens, you will not be shielding consumers. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, for the reason why fuel price is going to go up in this window. So if you look at the projections we made, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, we made mention that we should expect between 6 to 9% increase in the fuel that you're going to buy from today. Depending on where you buy your fuel, certain OMCs might be reluctant in applying it, probably based on wherever they get their fuel from. But expect that there's going to be an increase in fuel from not so much, because, like I said, there are 2 reasons why fuel price will go up or down. That has to do with the city, which is doing well, and also the international benchmark price will come down for the window that passed yesterday. So ideally, even because of this 1 cedi, to be fair, fuel prices would have gone down by 2 to 3%. but now it's going up because of the one city.
Right. Okay, so we are also being joined on Zoom by Collins Adumako Mensah. Good morning, Collins. Hello, Collins. Okay, so we'll try and get Collins to join us. So maybe I should continue my conversation with you. I just want to find out also, as you're saying, there's government says that it's quite important for them to do this, okay? And if it's important for them to collect this money to be able to pay off the debt and fix the energy sector crisis, why then do you still insist, Riverson, that this should not be implemented?
No, so we're not saying that it's not being implemented. I don't think I've said that in my discussion today.
Okay.
We were against the implementation plan.
The plan, okay.
Yes, the shadow was wrong. I mean, like I said, if you give me 1 day notice of such a huge implementation of a policy, that was not workable operationally. That's why we resisted it and made a clear statement that we cannot do it. It was just not doable.
Right.
But giving us 2 weeks notice for our members to be ready, that is fine. And you see, the energy sector debt are in two areas. We not being able to pay the debt and the debt accruing. First of all, the government should tell us what it is doing to stop the accrual of the debt. You know, as we speak today, the debt is still being accrued. And one day you'll be shocked, all right? One day you're going to be shocked like I was, or like we all were, that they're going to add another 1 city or 50 cities, 50% somewhere along the line. Because this ESLA is nothing new. But if we couldn't pay for the debt entirely, and you're adding, and therefore you have to add another 1 city to make it 1 city 95 pesos, all right? What is the guarantee that next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, the government will not come and say, you're not able to pay our debt, so let's add another 50 pesos, you know? So we need to hold the government accountable, which we are, because every quarter we need to know how much we've been able to accrue, because like I said yesterday, you realize that electricity prices have gone up. Meanwhile, it should have gone down. You know, so it's all in the aim of making sure that we get more money to pay for the debt. And IMF is ready and happy about what the government is doing. And for sure, we're also going to pass it on to the ordinary Ghanaian to pay.
All right, but looking at the amount of money that this is supposed to help generate, that is, Collins, is that you?
Yes, please, this is Collins.
Oh, fantastic. Good morning. I'm on the line with Riverson, but let me still acknowledge you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, by God's grace, I'm fine.
Fantastic. I'll come back to you shortly. Let me ask Riverson just one question, and I come to you, please. Okay?
That's fine.
Thank you so much. Riverson.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let me ask you this before I go into that one. So you did say that it's the implementation plan that's a problem. What would you prefer that should happen for Ghanaians to say this is a comfortable plan?
Yeah, I mean, it is all about stakeholder engagement. First of all, this policy went to Parliament with no stakeholder engagement, okay? If you ask me what informed the government to arrive at 1 city, I cannot say anything about it, okay? If you ask me why the implementation was being rushed, I cannot say anything about it. But today, all that we are asking for was enough time for the oil marketing companies to prepare to pay these taxes or the additional taxes, because the taxes we are paying already. Because today, if you look at the pump price revenue per liter, all right, that's from yesterday. I mean, yesterday backwards, it was around 22.5%. But per the current calculation of taxes, addition of the 1 city, we are moving to 26%. We pay 26% of every money made on one liter sold at the pump to the government. All right, 70% will then go to the BDCs for the SREF of the commodity. We struggle to get 4 to 5% as our revenue as oil marketing companies. So indeed, we are working for the government. So we just needed time and also let the government know that we have issues. that we need to address, which we're actually talking about now. And my board is actually watching the government. What is it going to do to support them pay this levy? In the next 1 month, you're going to have a strong meeting with them if those our requests are not met.
All right. Let me now speak with Collins, who is the former Deputy Energy Minister and also MP for Ablekuma North. Collins?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning once again, and sorry for keeping you waiting. I hope you're doing well.
By God's grace, I'm fine. And morning to my friend and brother, Riverson.
Fantastic. Now, you as minority, you've been against this implementation of the One Ghana levy. Now, it's going to be implemented today. Do you still stand your ground?
Yes, good morning to your viewers. And let me say that the minority's position has not changed. Indeed, our position is born out of government's own dishonesty, just to put it mildly. In the 2025 budget, and if you have a copy of the budget with you, anybody watching can just refer to paragraph 263 and paragraph 264. Government was very clear in its mind that it does not intend to increase the levy. Indeed, the memorandum that accompanied the initial bill that was presented to us in March also was very clear that the consolidation that is being pursued will not lead to an increase in the levies. The amendments, however, said something different. So we are very clear in our mind, and we stand by our position that this levy is unnecessary. This levy is just going to bring undue hardship onto the Ghanaian people. And just as Riverson said, with all intents and purposes, this particular window, we're not expecting an increase. But here we are, World has just announced an increase in fuel prices. And so we stand by our position that this particular levy is unnecessary. The purpose for which this levy is being charged, and I've been listening to your conversation with Riverson, if anybody tells you that this One Ghana cedi is going to be used to pay legacy debt, that is a lie. The minister himself, immediately after the bill was passed, was on Joy FM, was on CTFM, the next morning, saying that this One Ghana cedi really is just going to be used to purchase fuel. Indeed, the minister indicated that the amount of money required to purchase fuel alone is about $1 billion, which translates to about 12 billion. During the presentation of the amendment bill, Dr. Atto Forson attached what we call the fiscal impact analysis report, which indicated to us that government intends to rake in 5.7 billion from this One Ghana cedi. That itself will not be enough, according to the minister, to take care of the fuel purchases, not alone to talk about debts. And so if anybody tells you that government is bringing this One Ghana cedi in order for it to pay off its debts, that cannot be true. PRC, in increasing electricity bill just this month, indicated the factors that contributed to the increase. And one of it was fuel, alternative fuel. It is the same reason we're giving for the One Ghana cedi. So the minority is very clear in its mind. This One Ghana cedi is going to bring undue hardship onto the Ghanaian people, especially when up to date, electricity has gone up by close to 17%. Don't forget that non-life insurance has gone up by 15%. Plastic companies are now being charged an additional 7%. Obviously, Ghanaians cannot continue to bear this hardship.
Right. And now you were part of the ministry. Of course, we keep on talking about the debt, $3.1 billion debt. What do you have to say about it?
Well, the debt situation in the energy ministry, there are a lot of reasons. One of the key reasons why we are where we are is because of the take or pay negotiations that governments, the previous governments, Mohammed's government signed. And they know it. We started a renegotiation with most of the IPPs. Indeed, when we met ECG indicated to us that if ECG is totally efficient, 100% efficient, it collects all its revenues and everything, it will still be in a loss just because the price at which they buy the electricity before they sell to us is quite higher. And so there are a lot of reasons that why we are where we are in terms of the debt. Of course, when you go to ECG's system losses, which is hovering around above 30%. Technical losses is around close to about 20%. Commercial loss about 20%, technical loss about 15%. Obviously, we have to find a way of changing that status quo. And we as a minority, we are all for the reform that the minister talked about, especially with the Electricity Company of Ghana. But when we talk about the debt, it's been a systemic failure over a period of time. It cannot really be attributed to my government alone. Of course, when we came to power, we inherited about 2 billion worth of debts, but for the renegotiation that we did with some of the IPPs, the debt of 3-something billion that you're talking about would even be higher.
Right. Okay. Now, Collins, I know the next question. I'll go on phone pretty shortly because we have Richmond Roxon also joining us, and he is a spokesperson and a head of communication. He's actually spokesperson and head of communication for the Energy Ministry. So I'll be going on phone to speak with Richmond Roxon pretty shortly. But Collins, with all that you are saying, everybody is saying, okay, you're saying ECG, the way we buy things. How do we then have a company or an institution that will not run at a loss? Because that's a problem. Why do we have an institution that is running in debt?
Well, that's a difficult. I'm sure this question can be directed directly to the managers of ECG. ECG itself has indicated to us when we met them as a committee that one of the reasons they are where they are, one, because of the exchange rate. Don't forget that they buy in dollars, but they sell to the Ghanaian people in cedis. Of course, I'm happy with the gains the cedi is making under this government. I hope that will translate when they bring their financials to us next year. It will translate into some positive effects for them. But of course, as I said, we are all for the reforms that the minister talked about. I have indicated, and it was even in our manifesto, that we have to, as quickly as possible, to bring in some private players, especially at the retail end of ECG's operations, in order to reduce the inefficiencies that characterizes their collection processes.
Okay. Now, let me bring Richmond in. Good morning, Richmond.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Honorable Collins, and then good morning to Dr. Harrison as well.
Fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. This morning, my minister will be at the presidency to account to the people of Ghana through the accountability series. And we're all looking forward to let the people know the way that it's done.
Right. Your network is a bit shaky, so I would prefer that you can, be a bit audible for us.
That's fine. Is it better now?
Yeah, you sound a bit better. All right, so the minority is still insisting that this levy should not be passed. What's your take on it?
The minority should be supporting government when it comes to the energy sector and the reforms that the government is implementing. We don't think that at this point in time, those who caused or those who have contributed significantly to the problem, which is being fixed now, should be antagonizing the government, for want of a better word. Number one, the introduction of the levy is to address the energy sector shortfall. This one Ghana cedi, as my minister said, is to deal with the liquid fuel, which is not contained in the electricity tariff buildup. And like Honorable Collins said, even if ECG is efficient and they are able to recover all their revenue, because there's a structural defect in the structure, the cost of production, even if you get 100% of all your revenue, you are still going to have a deficit because you don't have the liquid fuel included in the cost or the electricity cost buildup. And that is why the government introduced the 1 cedi, looking at the impact of the exchange rate on fuel prices. The 1 cedi will not give government the full amount that it's looking for, because every year we're looking at about $1.2 billion for liquid fuels and for power generation. And if we proceed on that, the government is estimated to make about 5.7 billion. There's still a deficit, which will mean that government will still have to support the sector. The long-term view is to gradually introduce the cost of liquid fuels into the electricity tariff builder. If this was done immediately, tariffs would have gone up by about 68%, which the President and the Minister of Energy thought will be too harsh and unreasonable. And so the government has to look for innovative ways to raise more revenue. And so, yes, the purpose of the levy primarily is to deal with the liquid fuel. Of course, the ministry is pursuing structural changes, structural reforms. Once these reforms receive some positive, the excess that the government is going to get out of this will be used to support in dealing with the energy sector shortfalls in general. For example, on Sunday, the government increased through ENI and the works of NPP, the Petroleum Commission Department. We have more natural gas now. It's increased by 30 SCF. We're also expecting about 30 SCF more from Jubilee, the Stalo Energy Partners. Subsequently, the President has also given authorization to pursue LNG and also try and get more gas from Nigeria. Once we have all these coming, and the bigger picture is to put together a new gas processing plants too. Once you have all that coming, what we will need for liquid fuel will definitely reduce, and then we'll be able to support the shortfalls.
Right. Now, COMAC is also having a problem with the implementation, saying that you didn't give ample time for people to prepare for this.
My sister, I heard Dr. Rivers when you asked him the question, that initially they had a problem with the implementation plan. They engaged government. It was even a Sunday. They had all the support from government. My minister engaged, the Ministry of Finance engaged, GRA engaged, NPA engaged, and was postponed to 16th of June. So we've gone actually the statement to commend ministry and government for construction.
Yo, please, can you be a bit audible for us? It's very difficult to hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's because of my voice is echoing. I'm hearing what I'm saying. So,
oh, you're hearing what you're saying? Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. So it's important that you also make reference to that statement, because COMAC, after that engagement, commended government and thanked government for the constructive engagement in dealing with the challenges that they had. And all other stakeholders, the concerns they've had have also been dealt with by government at this point. And you've noticed that the initial action or the approach was announced implement of the levy is not as it, because a lot of engagement have been done following sharp as well.
All right, let me ask Riverson this. Riverson, this is
and
what...
If I may make this point,
yes,
in response to what Honorable Collins said.
Okay.
In 2016 or in 2015, ESLA was introduced. And it had a sunset clause of 5 years. In 8 years, they raised more money than the debt they met, but they increased the debt from 2 billion to almost 80 billion. 8 billion Ghana cedis. Since we've been in government, the debt has been dealt with, as of now, it's about 67 billion Ghana cedis. IPPs alone are being owed $1.79 billion. And these are their commission. You asked him a question about ECP, and he brilliantly avoided a question that should be directed to ECP. The reforms that this government is pursuing in ECP, for example, under their government, ECG had almost 100 bank accounts. As of now, ECG has 1. Under their government, they know the procurement breaches under ECG. this government has reformed that. As of now, those procurement of non-essential goods by ECG is a thing of the past. Under the AGAP, for 2 years, ECG did not engage in any maintenance. And they had containers sit at the port where they continue to purchase non-essential goods. All these contributed significantly to the debt that we are seeing today in the sector. That is not what is happening today. They supervise APNC, that's aggregate technical and commercial loss, of about 40%. That has been reduced significantly now. And we expect that by close of the year, it should be way better than what we met. So these are the reforms that the government is pursuing to ensure that we have a cleaner energy sector than what we met. It is because the previous administration left on their job. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And that is why we say that those who are trying to fix the problems that they cause must not be antagonized, especially by the same people that contributed significantly to where we are today.
Okay, we'll definitely answer to that. I know that they all have responses to some of the things that you have said. So maybe I should start this with Riverson. Riverson, Roxanne says that there has been stakeholder engagement, and you thanked the Energy Ministry for everything, and so you were okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've made this statement like 3 times already because. We even had a meeting with GRA on Monday, and to expedite the request that the industry has made, through our sector minister, because we wrote to the ministry that these 3 line items needs to be, looked into, and we have received positive response. And I think, let me emphasize the fact that what was critically important to us was a timeline. In implementing this particular new addition in the levy, overnight was just not possible, and that is what I think I've made mention throughout this conversation. What it's going to do is what I also said, that we are also going to hold the ministry accountable, not as an industry because you're the one paying it, it's you and I paying it. And whether or not they had increased the tariffs or whatever, we're still going to be the one to pay. I think as ordinary Ghanaian like you and I and Roxanne and Honorable himself, we need to make sure that the government gives us accountability of how much money has been made and what the money has been used for. So we know what we're doing. I mean, the sunset clauses were not done, but I believe that when things go rough, we can follow on the government to probably take this once a year off when the right time comes.
Right. So back to you, Roxanne. I just want to find out from you. Government says that there's an estimation of 5.7 billion Ghana cedis that has to be raised, that could be raised annually. How transparent will this be for people to know that, yes, government is raising this amount of money?
Once you're purchasing fuel, it will mean that government is raising the revenue. What the President, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama said is that this time they will not business as periodically audit the account. They're going to publish the account. They're going to tell the people of Ghana exactly what the money was used for, so that we can all monitor where we are. Only that we'll wait the year long and then subsequently some money should be diverted and the past. That is not what is going to happen under this administration. There's going to be very transparent accountability measures put in place so that the people of Ghana will know what the government is doing. As the President said, this was a difficult but necessary decision. Nobody is pleased to pay levies and taxes, but the circumstances will determine what should be done. And like Honorable Collins mentioned, yes, initially in March, the government communicated that it was pursuing a consolidation of these taxes. But subsequently, when you are confronted with the problems as a new government, you have to take bold, prudent decisions. Do we want our lights on or we want our lights off? So yes, government has communicated that in March that it was just pursuing consolidation. after 3 months when you've come across 80 billion debt, and then you've also seen that even beyond the 80 billion, you owe suppliers, there's a structural problem with the tariff. What do? You have to take the necessary decision to resolve those issues, and that's what the government has done.
All right, thank you so much. Collins, let me come to you with this one. How can government help fix this kind of debt that we are in, $3.1 billion US, if not to take this money, the levy?
Well, first of all, I think it's important that you give me some opportunity to also respond.
Please go ahead. That's fine. Please, you can go ahead. Don't worry at all. You can go ahead.
Roxanne talked about. And of course, when he began to talk about the problems that they inherited, he conveniently, and let me use this word, he brilliantly ignored the very wicked, and I use the word wicked advisedly, wicked IPP negotiations that they talked about. He talks about ESLA and that when we came to power, we misused ESLA. Per the ESLA law, the minister is supposed to present to Parliament an ESLA report, annual report. I want my brother Roxanne to tell me from the time ESLA report was presented to Parliament, and he is in the ministry, I'm sure he's well versed with the reports. There is nowhere in the report that we are told that ESLA processes were misused. Now, when we came to government, we met a debt of about 2 billion. If the 2 billion was going to be constant, I tell you, the proceeds from ESLA would have paid off. But because of the IPP negotiation that they did, the debt continued to rise. And Riverson made a very interesting statement. As we speak now, the debt is compounded. That is the kind of negotiations they did. As I said, I am all for the reforms. I don't have any problem with the reform that this government is doing. And as a minority, we are prepared to assist them in everything that they do to bring some positive reforms in ECG. But where we are, this is not the time to tell us what the problem is and who to blame for it. Where we are, we need very important initiative.
But Colin, is that not what they are doing by implementing this? Because if you are saying
First of all, he has even confirmed that the one Ghana city is not going to pay any debts. Let's be clear about that. The debts they inherited, this one Ghana city is not going to pay any of the debts.
No,
Roxanne, I'll bring you in pretty shortly. Let Collins make his point, and then you come in.
Any legacy debt.
No, it's important I clarify that.
I'll let you say it. No, I'll let you speak. Don't worry at all.
Okay,
I'll give you the opportunity.
Roxanne, yourself, you've made it very clear that the one Ghana city is to buy fuel. It's not to pay any legacy debt.
Is that what he said?
It's not to pay any legacy debt. That's what the minister said. That's what the minister said. And we are told that the one Ghana city is going to rake in 5.7 billion. He is telling us the fuel alone, he needs about 12 billion annually. So the one Ghana city, according to them, will not even be enough to purchase fuel, let alone to talk about legacy debt. And don't forget that they have also started charging alternative fuel as part of the tariff adjustment on electricity. They've started doing that. So whilst we are paying one Ghana city to pay or to buy to essentially finance alternative fuel, they are also charging increasing electricity tariff also to add up to the 5.7 billion that he's talking about, essentially to buy fuel and not to pay legacy debts.
All right, Collins. So if you are saying it's not supposed to pay off the debt, but then we've been told...
I'm not the one saying it.
Okay, so...
That is what they are saying.
Okay. Now, we have been told, okay, that it's going to cover a debt of $3.1 billion that has been accrued by the energy sector. Now, talking about that, there's also an expectation, I understand you, but there's also an expectation that this one Ghana levy is supposed to help raise 5.7 billion Ghana cedis annually. So if it's not supposed to be used for that, then what will this be used for?
You should tell us. They brought a memorandum to Parliament which accompanied the bill. And it was very clear in the memorandum, they said they were going to use it to pay, buy fuel and also pay legacy debt. But I'm telling you, that cannot be the case.
Okay,
because the amount they intend to raise from this 1 Ghana cedi cannot just purchase the fuel, let alone use some to pay off legacy debt.
All right, let me hold you.
Clarify that.
All right, that's fine. Let me put you on hold on that. I want Roxanne to respond to that. Roxanne?
I think that Honorable is just taking one part of the statement that was made. The amendment, first, when you read the memorandum that you referred to, this is the energy sector shortfalls and debt repayment bill, which is now the law. So the name of the amendment itself should suggest to everyone the purpose of ESLA today. ESLA now is, for example, on petrol is 1 cedi 95 pesos. The introduction of the 1 cedi primarily is to purchase liquid fuels for our power plant. But it doesn't end there. Like I mentioned, the government is pursuing a lot of reforms, and that as we go along, there will be definitely excess to be able to deal with the debt that is existing. For example, as of today, we need $1.2 billion to purchase liquid fuels. If progress is made as we are seeing, if you have 60 SCAF, that's 60 million standard cubic feet in Ghana alone, and you're able to procure more fuels from Nigeria, and now you can also get the LNG on board. What it means is that you will not need $1.2 billion again. You need the $12 billion that you are talking about. It will be less than that. And don't forget that the cost of natural gas is almost half the price of liquid fuel, depending on what the price is at the time. So if today we are spending $1.2 billion on liquid fuel, and then we get more gas, and then we end up spending 600 million, it means that definitely we're going to have excess in the revenue that we've raised to be able to deal with some challenges. And that is the bigger vision or the bigger goal, to deal with the problems that we have head on. So to tackle the fuel issue that we have, especially the liquid fuel issue, so that as we move along, we spend less on liquid fuels. Okay. We are seeing progress. On Sunday, we increased it by 30 SCAF. The next few months, a few weeks, Talo will also do the same. We are pursuing LNG as well. We are pursuing more gas from Nigeria. In fact, we've increased gas from Nigeria from 80 SCAF to 100 SCAF. That's by 20. So if you add those ones alone, within the period, you are getting about 80 million more. Okay. And that is why you cannot just insist that the money is for liquid fuels forever and ever. No.
All right.
So memorandum says that energy sector shortfalls and debt recovery.
Fantastic.
So
now,
as we move along, reforms will be made and some monies will be channeled into paying debt.
Fantastic.
But as is for liquid fuel.
So this is where people are having a bit of, misunderstanding. Now, this 1 Ghana is supposed to be for liquid fuel, for debt. There'll be some reforms that will be made. The minority is saying that as it stands now, if you are saying this 1 Ghana, it could be used to clear the debt. It's impossible. There is a potential that we could increase or see an increase in this 1 Ghana. It could go to a 1.5, it could go to 2 cedi. So which is which as it stands now?
I don't get your question. If you say it's possible to see an increase.
Yes, because if this 1 Ghana is supposed to be used to clear debt, $3.1 billion debt, is supposed to be used to purchase liquid fuel. They are saying that it's impossible as we speak now, that this 1 Ghana implementation is going to solve all these problems. And so we should expect that it could go high.
No.
Okay.
See, I mentioned that as of today, ESLA is 1 cedi 95 pesos. You're talking about the 1 cedi, but you haven't said anything about the 95 pesos. The 95 pesos, which we met, is what is supposed to go into dealing with the debt. That is what it's supposed to. It's about ensuring that the monies are channeled into it for it properly. And that is what the government is. Beyond that, it's about bringing efficiency to the system. One of these bringing it is interest in issuing billing and protection. As cabinet being as well for easy to bring concession, not concession. We would prove on the private situation. One is the money. That's the good moment the key of suppliers. And you can check from the cash flow mechanism in the report from February to this. There's been significant improvement in how the cash flow mechanism is used, how we implementing the policy. That is why you find a lot of these suppliers and IPPs not shouting again, because the government gives the revenue fairly to them. The situation where we saw in the past when a chunk of the money goes into ECG's day-to-day management is gone. All these are structural reforms to deal with the debts that we are looking at. So it is not that the taxes are in, so the government is sleeping. No, the taxes are in, the government is still pursuing all these reforms, and we are seeing results.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Roxanne, for joining us this morning. Collins, your final words before you go. Anything you want to say?
Well, I think he just confirmed my fears that indeed, currently, the 1 Ghana cedi is not going to be used to pay any legacy debts, and that is going to be used to pay for fuel. And that subsequently, when the reform they are pursuing gets to a certain level, then we may be able to use part of it to take care of the legacy debt. So let's be clear about that. As I said, as a minority, we don't intend to be a disruptive minority. We intend to assist the government in its reform that is going to bring some sanity within the energy sector. That I can assure my brother and the minister of our full support. But of course, as part of the reforms, we believe very strongly that overburdening the Ghanaian people cannot be a positive reform. That's, for me, is not something that we should pursue. And that is why we still insist that this 1 Ghana cedi is going to cause a lot of hardship onto the Ghanaian people.
Thank you so much, Collins, for joining us. We are grateful. And that is the 1 Ghana cedi levy that is implemented and it takes effect today. KMJ is in a trotro taking reactions from passengers, drivers, and the mates. KMJ? Hello, KMJ. All right, so we are trying to get KMJ. We want to hear what...
I'm coming to you live from Newtown, and it's all about the fuel levy that has been in the system for a while. Today happens to be the day that is going to be implemented. Don't forget that sometime on the 16th of June, this levy, which is the fuel levy, was supposed to have been implemented. Now, there were concerns from Ghanaian stakeholders and was postponed indefinitely for stakeholder conversations to actually go on before eventually it comes back again. But like I said, a lot of things have been said about it. A lot of stakeholder meetings have been had about it. And finally, today it's going to take effect. GRA will be looking at how they are going to implement that from their angle as well. But are the people ready to actually pay this, fuel levy as the drivers, the trotro drivers, commercial, private drivers, ready to actually accept this? Now, that's the conversation we're trying to have this morning. And so I'm taking a trip from Accra Newtown to other places to find out exactly what people think about the levy, the new 1 Ghana cedis that they are supposed to be paying. Now, are the pump stations also going to be increasing their prices? We're going to be looking at all of that and what the drivers also make of the situation. So I'm on board a car that is moved from Newtown right now. It's a trotro that is moved from Newtown right now, and we're headed now. Passengers are in here, and I want to also find out from them the understanding of the levy and the 1 Ghana cedi, and if the pumps increase it, the drivers are also going to increase it, and they would have to actually pay for it. Are they ready to actually pay for that amount of money if that increment comes from the drivers and is forced on them? Because obviously, if the drivers increase it, they are a lot of fare. It means that the passengers would have to pay for that. And if the fuel also increases, it means that the drivers would also be looking at increasing theirs as well. So that's the conversation we're having this morning here on Prime Morning. And I'm going to be talking to some of the passengers, like I said, to find out if indeed they have an idea about this whole levy, and if the fuel pumps increase and the drivers increase and they are supposed to pay for it, they're going to pay for it. I'm sitting next to a lady over here, so let me see if I can talk to her. Good morning.
Good morning.
Saying.
That's right.
One gonna live in what I say, full live in what I say.
In a way.
I still want to say, Papa.
In a way. In a way, I understand.
You understand, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So it means that if we're supposed to pay one levy, if the drivers are supposed to pay for this, then it means that obviously the passengers would have to be paying for it. Are you ready to pay if we decide that passengers or there's an increment?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. If it will help, why not? We will pay. Me, I'm ready to pay. No problem.
Ready to pay.
Yeah,
the idea is to help solve the energy sector issue. Do you think it's something that makes sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, so she's ready to actually pay because she believes that it's going to help the country. And so if we're all deciding that we're paying 1 Ghana cedis just to help the energy sector, why not? She's going to pay for it. Let me talk to my gentleman over here and say, Chief, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
I hope you're good.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware of the 1 Ghana cedi levy?
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware of it.
Okay. Do you agree to it?
Yeah, I agree, but I have some reservation. One, I want to find out whether there was much consultation. We are looking at the stakeholders. We are looking at the passengers, the drivers. Were they consulted and did they agree? Moreover, when the money is also collected, are they going to channel it at the appropriate quarters? If all these things were done and it's for the benefit for the entire country, I have no problem. On the other hand, if the money is going to be channeled into other venture, then probably people will definitely rise against it, and the government will also be a loser. So for me, it is good. But it is only good on conditions that I've just stated. The stakeholders were they consulted, and what were their comments on that? And moreover, are they going to be purposely for what they intend using it for? If they are going to define, because the energy crisis, I think all of us are facing it. And if there is going to be a remedy to that, I have no problem with that. Yeah.
With the current administration and what we have seen so far, do you think that you have that confidence in them that if you pay 1 Ghana cedis, it's going to be used for what it's intended to be used for?
Yeah, for me, politicians per se, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. But let's say we want to give them the opportunity and see if actually what they are saying, they really want to go by it. If they want to go, fair enough. But for me, politicians, I don't trust them in any way. Yeah.
You want a cut-off point, or you want it to be throughout? Or, for example, if we decide that we're paying our energy debts and we're able to raise a certain money in 2 years or 3 years, do you think that this levy should be suspended if we're able to do so, or we should continue to let it be around?
Yes, I agree on that. If a year or two and we are able to clear all the debt, fair enough, then probably it can come to a halt. That is what I think with regards to that.
All right, thank you very much. Let me see if I can go back a bit. But who can talk to me this morning? How are you doing?
Fine.
And you commute from here Newtown to where every morning?
Tema Station.
Tema Station.
Yes.
That's where you work.
Yes, I'm a public servant. Yes, I work with teacher service.
And how much do you usually pay?
It used to be 6 cities. Now it's 5 cities.
Oh, so there's been a reduction from 6 to 5.
Yes.
So that is before this levy actually.
Yes, before the levy.
So it means that if the pumps increase and the drivers also increase, you're going to pay more.
Yes, it's likely we are going to pay more.
And are you ready for that?
No. I mean, when it was reduced, it brought some relief to us. But increasing it now will be a bit.
Where? Accra bus stop.
Will be a bit on the high side for us, and I just hope that this levy they are about to collect, they will use it for what they intend to use it for. You know, politicians, they say one thing and then do another.
Okay, so currently we have our very first stop. This is Accra High, and this is where we are right now. Passenger is trying to get down, and so we're going all the way to Tema Station, and we've been speaking to some of the passengers in the car, and they've been telling us what they think about the levy. Some people believe that it's a good thing for us to actually pay for. Others believe that, well, if they're going to use it for what it's intended for, then it's no problem. But some also believe that trusting politicians right now is a big problem. So we're still trying to find out and then see. But okay, Tema Station. Okay, Chief Yafanana, Tema Station. Okay. And sorry. So this morning, I am your mate here on the demonstration stretch. There you go. All right. So, City, so it means that as for you, you will pay it, but you're not too sure what they will use it for.
Yes, the intended purpose is the issue. If they will use it for what they say they will use it for, fine, we all pay. After whether we decide to pay or not, the levy is here. And whether you like it or not, you will pay. So you cannot decide that you will not pay. I'm just hoping that they use it for. And one thing I didn't like is the consultation wasn't much. So people didn't understand what I thought them suspending it, they would have used that opportunity to educate people about.
That was the reason why they suspended it. So it is believed that some consultations were done, or you think they didn't get to the passengers?
No. I don't think the consultation was really done well. But I hope and pray that this new government will give them the opportunity. I mean, they are now in. So we'll give them the opportunity to, let them make us trust them. Okay. That's all.
You think they've been transparent enough to Ghanaians so far?
It's been 50-50. So we are hoping. So we are hoping and praying that they keep their word and then not make us regret.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. They don't want the government to make them regret, and that's why a lot of people are believing that the government will do what they have said that they want to be doing. Don't forget that this was supposed to have happened on the 16th of June, and there were a lot of concerns from Ghanaians and stakeholders, and it was postponed indefinitely. We're hoping that it was not even going to come back again, but then it is here with us again. But are the people ready to actually pay for this? Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. You also commute from Newtown every morning?
Yes, please.
And to Tema Station?
To Ridge.
So how much do you pay for that?
5 cities.
Oh, it's still the same 5 cities?
It used to be 6 cities, but now 5.
So no matter where you are getting off, you're still paying the same amount everybody's paying to the last stop, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. It means that if we're paying 1 Ghana cedis, you're going to pay more later if the drivers decide that they're going to put that burden or that amount of money on the passengers. Are you ready?
Well, I'm ready. Since the money they are taking is going to be for the betterment of our future, so I'm in for it. Yeah.
But do you believe that the monies will be used for what they're supposed to be used for?
Well, I don't think they will be saying that they need to play with our funds. And besides, I'll be getting down very soon, so I'll get down here. Yeah. I hope they'll use it for what they intend to use it for, because I don't think they'll be taking our monies and then not use it for what they want to use it for. So.
But at least transparency-wise, you think that they have done enough for you to believe them?
Well, I think so. For the past few months, I think they've been doing much, so I'm hoping.
Okay. All right, so please be careful. There's a gutter over here, so be careful. All right, so we're still here. We're still commuting. We have left Newtown. We have Ridge right now. And this is where passengers are getting down. And we're still engaging them to find out what they think about the new levy, which is the 1 Ghana cedi that we're all supposed to be paying. Now, the pumps will increase it. If they do, it means that the drivers will also increase it. And it's all going to go into the packets of the passengers. Are the passengers ready to actually pay for this amount of money? And that's the question we're asking this morning right here on this trip. And we're here at Ridge right now. We're going all the way to Tema Station.
The passengers, they don't seem to have too much problem with the payment, but they say accountability. That's where the problem is. If only government will use the money for what they say they will use it for, then they don't have a problem. But if not that, then they have a problem with that. I'm here with the Deputy General Secretary for the NPP, Alhaji Haruna Mohammed. Good morning, Alhaji.
Good morning.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't look for me.
I've been here.
You've been
here.
But you haven't been looking for me.
But it looks like we met on this week, right?
No, we haven't met.
Oh, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that.
So this 1 Ghana levy that's been implemented, it seems like people are not too, they are not too trustworthy. The fact that the money will be used for what it's supposed to be used for. But what do you think about it?
First and foremost, I would like to say good morning to your viewers and the good people of the New Patriotic Party and my constituents, Zabzugu constituency. I think that the incidence of taxations is always shifted to the final consumer, and that is what is worrying and many people are very scared of. And if you check very well, as at January 2nd, when we were handing over to the NDC, the fuel prices, and I use GUEL as a standard. If you check Super, it was 14.99 as at 2nd January. You check diesel, it was 15.6. And you check RON 95, it was 15.6. Today, as at today at 6 a.m., RON 95 is 15.77, above the rate of 15.60. And we are expecting a 9% increment in fuel this week after this particular pricing. So there will be another pricing window within this week, which will give us about 9% rise in fuel. You also have diesel, which was 15.6, is 14.38. So you check that there is no any improvement at all. We also check, like when I listened to the discussions that was made here with regards to the energy issues. This one Ghana city is a burden, it's a rip-off, it's clear robbery of the Ghanaian citizen. Ghanaian citizens are very law-abiding. They are very much concerned about the development of the state. And if you ask them, there is no law to stop you from payment. So they will tell you that we will pay. However, they bring a certain caveat to explain their stance. And that has always been what it is. So for me, this government will remain a settings government. They certainly will not be able to do what they have told the good people of Ghana to do. If you say that the NPP government was spending so much and has so much ministers, when if you check the budget of 2024, the budget for the Office of Government Machinery was 326 million. The budget for office office machinery, the presidency, for the same fewer ministers and people that they are working with, is 2.7 billion for 9 months and 326 million for 12 months. It's a rip-off. These people are just playing on the emotions of people of Ghana. We are not seeing it. People think that they are doing better. They are spending your money, our money, everybody's money, without any recourse.
What would you have done different to recover this or to clear this debt as a party?
There has always been legacy debts. We have always tackled those debts. Even at the high of everything at all, you saw that we were able to curtail the light-off systems, the DUMSO. At a point, it was DUMKRA. We came in, we brought what we call the DUMCAC. We were able to fix some of the major areas in which where we had light-offs. When there is light-off, it affects productivity. Line management becomes very, very ineffective. Companies that are into production reduces the level of production. Maintenance cost goes high. Some instances, like when you come to the media, you would have to, at a point, stop production and have to procure new equipment because they are endangered with unannounced light-offs. And it is something that is very dangerous for us. With all those debts they were talking about, we kept the light on. for hours. Productivity went up and nothing at all. They came in to tell us that what we handed to them, it would not even take 3 days. It took them more than even a month. They went to Parliament, said all manner of things. By the time we could say jack, containers were flying, which was for extension of electricity, putting meters, cable extensions, and other ancillaries that is attached to the energy sector. Up to today, we are told that they have been found. What happened to it?
You still haven't told us how you fix the problem if you were there. Because they have told us what they are doing to fix it. What would you have done different?
They have said nothing. What are they doing?
What would you have done different to fix it?
We indicated in our manifesto, which was very superior, by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who was the leader in front of the party's quest to maintain power. We had initiated and put in our manifesto the steps that we're going to do and continue to ensure that energy was sustained. One, we're looking at moving from this hydro into solar system, where we'll be able to cut half of the energy costs. If you go today to Laura and other centers, we have put through this solar systems because we have enough energy of sunshine that we need to harvest. So they were tailor-made programs to be able to support the Ghanaian citizen to be able to reduce the energy cost. Again, we're importing electric buses. Some of them are operational now. It was on our radar to make sure that these buses would be able to assist the public transport system and also assist the public transport operators to procure some of these electric buses. You agree with me? This would have contributed hugely to reducing the cost of energy production and also giving access to people in their households and companies, because if you pick the sheet of charge, it is domestic and commercial. Commercial rate is very high. The more you consume, the higher your rate also go.
But this is calculated by this $3.1 billion US debt that has been accrued. How are you going to clear it?
I cannot confirm that debt because I cannot appreciate the figure. I can't confirm whether it is actually true or not. Okay. Me, I like dealing with confirmed data.
But this,
I am not saying unless I also check.
You
it.
haven't said.
Yes, I don't want to speak to data that I'm not so much comfortable with.
Okay.
Because when I'm put before a data that I cannot confirm, I have to make reference and make evaluation of that to confirm so that I can speak. These people can just, because you know, Baba Jamal ever told us when he was Deputy Information Minister, right? That when you see a cow, say it is a sheep. If it is white, say it is black. He was speaking not less than to persons who were working in the information department. So for them, if they give you a navigator right, please take left, because if you don't take time, they will crash you. I don't trust them a bit. You don't trust them a bit. What if they are able to raise that 5.7 billion Ghana cedis that they are saying that they could raise annually to be able to, erase this debt or bring the debt down? What if it happens? If they raise the 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. From where? No, from the one city? Yes, one city. Did you read the 2025 budget? Mm-hmm. If they were clear enough and they were certain that they are going to raise such money, all their good intentions and plans were captured in the 2025 budget. Why didn't they capture the one Ghana city there? So the problem is the fact that they are certain governments, they were not prepared. They certainly don't know the direction they want to go. Because every government per election year, the exiting government will prepare a budget for the first 3 months, which we did. It was around 68 million or so, which we did up to March. They won elections on the 7th of December. They had the honeymoon to think about all the areas of income generation, revenue generation to the state. They put all together. They even went to the market by way of settings. And at the end of the day, they presented the budget, putting together where they will get all the monies and all the solutions to their problems. Then an afterthought, because they could not get it right, because it was settings budget, they had to come out with additional way of raising revenue, which was a rip-off, clear robbery, and certainly to put hardship on the good people of Ghana. I am telling you, these people, it won't take time. They'll start singing.
It's all set for Saturday, though?
Everything is set for Saturday. Saturday, we'll be going for our annual delegates conference. The constitutional provisions to be able to get to where we are going on the conference has certainly been fulfilled. On the 25th of April, the General Secretary issued a statement and calling for proposals as contained in Article 19A of the party's constitution. This was circulated to all party, regional, constituency, and made open for our members of the party to present proposals for amendment to our party's constitution. We formed a committee that was headed by Frank Davis, which is the chairman of the legal committee, constitutional and legal committee of the New Patriotic Party. Proposals were sent from the rank and file of the party. We also extracted the proposals that were contained in Professor Michael Quay's report. We also presented to that committee the uncompleted amendment process of the 2021, which was recommended by conference. And conference is the highest, the supreme body that makes decision for our party. And the second is the National Council. Conference referred the uncompleted exercise to National Council to complete and present before conference for adoption or ratification or redaction. Conference, National Council added it to them. They reported back to the National Council on the 17th of June. And on the 18th of June, the General Secretary issued another internal memo circulating all the proposals. That is about 300, it was about 300 proposals with a 303 pages of the proposals document that were circulated to fulfill Article 19B of the party's constitution. And on the 17th, the National Council meeting fixed 19th, that is Saturday, as the day of conference to look at all the amendments. All amendment proposals will be put into motions.
Okay.
They have to be streamlined. They have to be consolidated, because we can have 100 people submitting a proposal on one particular constitutional provision. So the committee in charge of amendment had to consolidate all of them. And the Constitution says it is only the amendment motions that will be presented to conference by the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. As we speak, we have about 50-something motions that will be presented, which is ready for conference on Saturday. Again.
And these are from members of the party?
Yes, members of conference.
Conference, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Okay.
If you check Article 10.2 of the party's constitution, it says, and I read, there shall be a national annual delegates conference, which shall be the supreme governing body of the party. The National Annual Delegates Conference shall meet once every year, at least 4 weeks after the last of the Regional Annual Delegates Conference. All constituencies, conferences, and regional conferences were asked by National Council to be put on and allow the National Delegates Conference to take place, which National Council accepted the proposal from the General Secretary. And that is why we did not have constituency, we did not have regional, and we are here. The reason being that this conference is basically on amendments, and all amendment procedures is enshrined in Article 19. Okay. All proposals will emanate from the people, and the proposals will be sent back to the people per what the Constitution said. So generally, there would not be so much discussions on them since there's a committee to put their proposals together. So by way of that, a motion was moved by the General Secretary for that part to be put on hold and be amended and allow the National Conference to go, which is by power the National Council has to do, which is the second highest decision-making body of the party.
Okay.
So the National Council, the National Annual Delegate Conference shall be attended by the following delegates. All members of the National Council. We have about 59 representatives from all regions who are members of National Council. And all regional chairmen are part of National Council. All National Executive Committee members are part of National Council. Council of Elders chairman is part of National Council. So all the National Council members are part of this as members of conference. All members of the National Executive Committee. The Executive Committee is a smaller body to the National Council. All members of the Regional Executive Committee. All members of the Constituency Executive Committee. 15 members of the National Council of Elders. 12 delegates from each external branch of the party that has been recognized. 1 TESCON representative from each recognized tertiary institution in the country. 15 patrons elected from among themselves. Founding members across the country who are signatories to the registration document of the party at the Electoral Commission. All party members of parliament. All party members who are ministers. That is when we are in government. So we don't have ministers as we stand.
They have members of parliament.
We have members of parliament. And then MMDCs we don't have. So they would not be able to attend because they are non-existent.
Okay.
So these are the composition of members who will be attending Saturday's delegates conference.
Right. Now, I know that there's been a lot of conversations around your party in recent times. The standing of the party, people feel that there's a bit of division, especially let's look at what happened recent times during the elections at Ablekuma North. The party, in one instance, says, we are not going. The candidate says, I'm going. And so people feel there's division in the party. Will this be addressed during the conference?
I don't think that this is a division. The candidate decided to go on a reason she has explained, but she has apologized for defying the orders of the National Executive Committee. She was part of it. We took the decision, and that because the NPP was on the ballot, she decided that no, because of what happened, and she thought that she's going to be robbed of the position. She went. The position of the New Patriotic Party was that, and it is still that, we won the election. I will never recognize a representation of Ablekuma North in Ghana's parliament. I as a person, would not. It is within my responsibility and right as a citizen to protect the sanctity of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And I say it, we have one law that governs elections. This. Apart from the Constitution, this is the law that governs elections in Ghana. CI 127. The CI 127 does not give the Electoral Commission of Ghana to conduct a rerun of election that has been completed. That is why the NPP, recognizing the infractions and irregularities based on the conduct of the NDC, went to the High Court with an order of mandamus. The High Court gave orders on the 4th of January and gave consequential directions as to how this is going to be implemented. You implemented in part, and you were not conclusive on the implementation of the High Court order. So if you carry out an order and you are not able to complete, and it was an order of the court per the legal jurisprudence where we are in a constitutional environment, what you ought to do is to go to court and tell the court, your orders that you have given me, I am unable to implement your orders. I need a variation, and this is the way I want. And court will give a directive to vary their own orders. But you cannot vary the orders of the court on your own. The Electoral Commission has no that right. If you read the Constitution, where the mandate has been given to the Electoral Commission of Independence, does not give them the power to vary a court order.
Okay.
So they went ahead to vary a court order, which we disagreed. Again, if you read this law, CI 127, Regulation 41, gives the Electoral Commission that when there is an election petition and there is that disagreement of identification of even on a ballot, it is the High Court that takes a decision. High Court, not the Electoral Commission. Again, if you go and read Regulation 36 of the CI, the Electoral Commission can continue elections when elections are stalled and did not complete. There is a procedure in this CI as to how the election should be paused and continued. Again, in this CI, if you read Regulation 42, the Electoral Commission can conduct a second election when there is a tie. When there is a tie, equal numbers of votes, they call it second election. In this same CI, it tells the Electoral Commission they can do so within 30 days. Within the CI. Regulation 43 of this same CI tells the Electoral Commission to give copies of carbonated pink sheets to every represented political party in that election. Specifically, 43F. All the political parties were given carbonated copies of the pink sheets. What is the reasoning behind that? At nowhere that the Electoral Commission can take the power to run an election that has been completed and rerun it again. We are setting a very bad precedence in this country. And I tell you, mark it, this thing that they have done will consume this country one day.
All right, so talking about that, one thing that people are asking, when your candidate decided to contest, there were some party bigwigs that supported her financially. Some even went into the constituency to go ahead and campaign. As a party, you decided not to contest it at all. But you had some bigwigs who did it. We had, flag bearer hopefuls like Kennedy Ejapon, Brian Echampon, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. They all supported financially. Edu Chumeno, they all supported financially. Now, the party says, this is our stance, but they supported. If Nandekwe Uswefri had won, would you have taken this posture?
We would have still been in court to fight for the right thing to be done. We are not interested in just a seat. We are interested in protecting the sanctity of our democracy.
Looking at the bigwigs that supported Nandekwe Uswefri, people feel there's division in the party. Now, you are going for your national delegates conference. How will you be able to bring unity in the party?
I still maintain that that particular posture did not represent a division. It's a disagreement of facts.
But is there unity in the party?
But the point is that you've raised a number of issues with regards to people contributing.
Yes.
Yes. At the last National Council meeting that we held 2 days ago, all those issues were discussed. Those persons who flouted the directive of the National Executive Committee duly recognized and felt remorseful and apologized to the National Council for the misconduct. And we call it anti-party behavior.
So are you going to penalize her?
Openly, the candidate who went in for the election apologized to the public. He she apologized again to council to be presented to National Executive Committee for the defiant orders. There were decisions that we took, and those decisions remains internal decisions. And I can tell you that we were able to go through that particular process for everybody to know that no such decision will be taken and anybody will go against it. A lot of discussions went, and those people you have mentioned, all of them were there. We invited them.
What will happen to them because they are flag bearer hopefuls and they flouted the decisions of the party?
We took decisions on that, and that is why I'm saying that it's an internal decision. And I'm telling you that we would not countenance any of such in the future or even now. Some measures have been taken by National Council, which is very internal.
You don't want to talk about the measures that have been taken?
Yeah, we'll not talk about it, but I told you that they were very remorseful.
Will they be punished?
They were very remorseful on what was discussed. They made their plea before National Council, and National Council, in its wisdom, accepted parts of them and directed on certain matters to be done.
How much money was given by the party to support the candidate?
Why will you give money to an election you are not contesting? I tell you that officially the party did not participate in Ablekuma North. The candidate defied the order and contested on her own. So on record, the NPP never contested the illegal rerun for Ablekuma North constituency.
What does your constitution say about somebody who decides to go against the party's decision?
Those were discussed at National Council.
I'm just asking you what your constitution says.
I am saying that those were discussed at the National Council, and one of the remedies were the apologetic and remorseful nature of the defiant candidates in the election.
Right. Does this mean then that if anybody gets up and decides not to adhere to what the party constitution says or what the party leadership say and comes back to apologize, you let things go?
A caveat was given, and I don't think that that is going to be the running order.
Do you want to know the caveat? Do you want us to know the caveat?
Let somebody do that again.
Until then, this is just gone.
People should be very careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you don't let people know what the caveat is, if you don't let people know that it's not just an apology that we will forgive you, and then what people will do is they'll keep on doing the wrong thing.
They know.
Have you told the people?
Not
everybody knows.
That's why you were asking. I'm saying it is indicated in the Constitution.
So I ask you about the Constitution.
Those measures were taken at Council. Certain issues were being addressed.
Okay.
The woman has to come out openly, even before Council, to apologize.
Okay.
The media interviewed her. So that's why I'm telling you that certain measures have been done.
Okay. So this very Saturday, we know that two former presidents are going to address the Congress virtually. That's what we heard. Is this true? Can you confirm that? Virtually.
What I know currently is that they are out of the country and they cannot be there in person. So there could be arrangement for them to address the conference virtually. But I can't confirm whether the virtual address is very eminent now. But those particular proposals have been made. And this is not the first time that it has been done. It's been done many occasions that there is virtual address of conference.
As a Ghanaian citizen, you go on social media, you see what happens on social media, you watch TV, you know what happens, you read it, news portals, so you see it. President Kufuor recently was trending because of an interview he granted saying that his wisdom should be used in the NPP party. And, you know, when people read it, people said that during that interview, it seemed as though he's been sidelined by the party leadership.
I desist from discussing President Kufuor in the public. He's a very respected member of our party. He's part of the foundation members of our party. He has been president of the Republic on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. His legacies can never be forgotten. In the last launch of the Patriotic Institute on 25th of June, President Kufuor made his words very clear. He gave wisdom, he spoke age, he spoke history, he spoke future, and I still want to maintain that sanctity. Never at any point in time will the party sideline President Kufuor. He's integral part of the NPP. You cannot take away a foundation of a building, and he's part of the foundation. Our upbringing and training does not allow us to discuss elders in public, and I resist that temptation.
Okay, great. I like that, but you actually answered it, so you answered it in a smart way, so it's a good one. Anyway, now, there's a COVID scare at the University of Ghana. We know that, yes, right now they are saying that it's gone down, it's not as bad as it used to be. What measures have you put in place for the National Delegates Conference?
2 days ago, I understand they've issued a statement lifting all the issues that the university community had put on the students. So I think that it means that there is so much improvement that has been done, and they believe that there can be public gatherings, and the university itself has issued a statement. I'm the secretary to the planning committee. We have met with the university on countless occasions. We have been assured and reassured of all the measures that we have put in place. We have a health committee headed by Dr. Okoboy, the immediate past Minister of Health, who himself is a medical professional. We have a team of, the committees consist of a team of not less than 18 members who are all medical professionals. We are putting up 5 medical stands at the center, 2 outside, 3 outside, and 2 inside. We have also set up 1 center at the University of Ghana Medical Center at the emergency unit, where we are stationing 10 medical professionals who will be admitting emergencies that will be emanating from the conference, if any. We also have a total workforce of 85 medical professionals made up of nurses, doctors, physicians, biochemists, or all the professionals have been put together who will be manning all these centers. And all COVID protocols too have been taken into consideration. We've went to discuss a lot around that. We are procuring a number of items for that. And I believe that the conference has also taken into consideration the vaccinations that has happened. You know, before COVID, there was no vaccinations. And the vaccinations was done, intended to protect the lives and citizens of Ghana. And I believe that the potency of the vaccination still exists. And even without the vaccination, we did protect ourselves and we survived. And that is why that Akufo-Addo's major statement that found its way into the international cycle is that we know how to bring the economy back to life, but we would not be able to know how to bring people who die back to life. And we certainly demonstrated that.
It was going to be my next question.
The numbers of deaths were curtailed even without vaccination. So the potency of the vaccination has been discussed.
Okay.
And the level of protection that needs to be provided has been taken.
So when they are coming, do they have to wear their mask? Do they have to bring their hand sanitizers? What are the measures
all those issues, all those procurements will be done by the committee.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, just before we go, a final one before we go, I just want to find out from you. Let me try and get this one because this conversation, there are people who are of the school of thought that the NPP lost elections because of the party executives. Hence, some, it's not everybody, so don't squeeze your face. Some people are of the school of thought that the NPP lost elections partly because of the executives, calling on executives to be changed before there will be a flag bearership race. However, there's a change of event where there should be an election for flag bearers before the delegate or the leadership is changed. What do you think about it?
I would have wished to see the cause, because when you are speaking to such informations, you must base it on something. The party set up the Professor Michael Koi's committee. They went to all the 276 constituencies. We gave most of the summary of what Professor Makukwe committee said during the thank you tour, nowhere did it mention that the party lost because of the executives. What is very eminent is that it is the organization at the polling station, which creates anarchy, creates division, creates a lot of things because of the constant removals and non-alignment of certain procedures in the way they are selected.
Who caused it?
Democracy.
Democracy in the party?
Democracy in general. Democracy has caused a lot of things across the world.
That's fine, but I'm asking you about your party. So if we're talking about your party and you say that you didn't win because of these things that happened at polling stations, I asked you, who caused it?
I am saying democracy.
Democracy
if
where?
Democracy did not say for competition, nobody will come and contest.
So how is it that with the same democracy, another party was able to put their things in place and win?
The same party you are talking about lost in the history of Ghana, even a sitting president. Nobody has ever lost like that way. They lost. They did not dismiss their party executives. The general secretary of that same party went again and became a general secretary, went again and became a national chairman, and won an election in the history again that nobody has ever won. So democracy is very beautiful. Democracy has its plus and it has its negatives. It's not an individual decision. It's a decision of democracy. There's competition, there is rule of law, there is procedure. People will definitely have a way that will impact negatively on the process of democracy. And that will always be identified by the people. And some of those issues will have to find their way to be addressed.
Honorable Haruna Mohammed, thank you so much for being here. Before you go, you want to say something?
Yes.
And I'll read a few messages, but please say it before we read it.
The conference is purposely for delegates. All unauthorized persons should realize that persons who are not invited would not be accredited to have access. Security arrangements have been made, and we ensure that everybody will adhere to all the security measures that has been put for the conference. No flyers for any contestant, no T-shirts for any contestant or potential contestant. No banners will be accepted. Any banner, any T-shirt, any flyer, anything advertising a candidate, be it presidential, be it national officer, be it constituency officer, will be pulled down by the security of the conference.
Thank you so much, Haruna. Let me read a few comments that have come in from Gatsi Man Brekum. Just within 7 months in power, you have introduced and increased utility bills more than 4 times. Mahama is just interested in ruling Ghana, but doesn't care about the welfare of Ghanaians. They are making noise of cedi appreciation and fuel reduction, which is mainly based on external forces and rise of gold prices. He's ruling like robot, but takes credit for everything. I wonder why they still take us for granted. This is completely robbing Peter to pay Paul. Richmond should apologize to Ghanaians for saying we should rather thank the government. Hey, Mustafa is now lambasting the EC today. Rosalind, go back and listen to Mustafa on 2024 and you know who they are. The NPP will stay in opposition for long. Yeji Esika from the NPP, Orauma's work, Mowat inside Asatre. Buhari laid to rest. National mourning observed in honor of late Nigeria's president in Dora. Fuel allowance cancellation. Social media erupts as President Mahama cuts to reduce administrative costs. All right. Good morning, Madam Host. I'm surprised to hear the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. Please ask him how many megawatts did they add to the national grid? They were in power for 8 solid years, but not even half a megawatt. Did they add a? Now, you want me to ask him this question? You're giving me this English. Fred from Adabraka, good morning. Everyone is putting caveats on the usage of 1 Ghana fuel levy because of how the NPP treated and tricked Ghanaians. So the trust in politicians has reduced. And Roslyn, did I hear you ask the NPP man what they would have done differently? It's obvious the NPP would have collected the fuel levy and used it to buy a stone from Israel or Gaza in addition to rest of the levy, dig a hole and put it inside. The evidence to this is right before us and even known by a 1-year-old child. Wow.